Wow.
I go shit. Oh, crazy.
He is taking everything. Absolutely. He's not one of these.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
I know some beer.
What's he doing with all that deodorant? Huh? Jeez. Is there like some underground deodorant market that like we just don't know about? Seems weird. But hi. Welcome to another episode of A Couple of Hoosiers podcast. I'm your host, Ricky Kurtz, and
your co-host, Charlie Goldsmith.
we got some fun stuff to talk about. A lot of crazy things are going on in China, and we're going to talk about it. Also, we got banned from TikTok permanently.
I shed no tear.
But we'll talk about it all. It's going to be fun. Let's go ahead and run this ad real quick. I think I got the hotkey right for it now. That is not the hotkey for it. Couple of Hoosiers podcasts. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, CastBox, pretty much anywhere that you get your podcasts. We live stream on Odysee and upload to YouTube, Rumble, and no more TikTok. I'm going to have to change that. But if you want to get everything all in one place, go to coupleofhoosiers.com. I write blogs for every single episode. They're pretty good, so check them out. Me and my wife have a small little woodworking company called R&M Kurtz Woodworks, and you can find us on Facebook. Here's a little display of what we've done. People like it. Get a hold of us. We'll see what we can do for you. But yeah, we got banned from TikTok. You know, I started uploading some clips from a previous episode. I was a little backed up on my clips, and I've kind of been like worried about actually like uploading stuff. Like I still haven't uploaded anything to YouTube. We're no longer banned from YouTube right now. Our 2 weeks of suspension as of right now. But we have 2 strikes, and if we get a third strike, we'll be permanently banned from YouTube as well. So I'm like really leery on like doing that, because like I've said before, I don't want to be banned from these platforms. I want my voice to be heard because I am a complete narcissist and people should listen to me. But yeah, it really threw me for a surprise because the last time the TikTok page got banned, it happened like as soon as I threw up like the third clip, they were just like, no, get that out of here or you're banned. This one, I got all of them uploaded and people started seeing them, people started commenting on them, and then I went to go check later in the day how the videos were doing, and it said, okay, you're banned. Offered for me to make a new account, but I'm not doing that.
It honestly didn't really surprise me. I figured it was
I figured it was inevitable, but like I still don't get it. I'm gonna have to because I really don't want to be banned from YouTube. That I care more about that than I do TikTok, because TikTok is a cesspool of degeneracy and I don't like it. But so I'll have to.
Chances are most people on TikTok aren't even looking at your shit anyways.
Possibly. I mean, I was getting like 400 to 500 views. I had a few that got like up to like 13 to 1500.
But was that like actual like viewing, or was that like that 5 seconds to see what it is and then get rid of it?
Who knows? I don't understand all that stuff. I was getting likes. I was getting a lot of likes, and people were like bookmarking certain videos and stuff like that. So I did upset some frog people on there. If you guys don't know who I'm talking about, the frog people, I'm talking about Groypers, the Nick Fuentes fans. I put something on, and I wasn't really being all that critical of them. I agree with like a majority of the things that they talk about. Just a lot of them are just trolls who try to get into chats and get people to say naughty things that they shouldn't be saying on the internet. And
wow.
Yeah, they all hide behind these Pepe the Frog meme pictures, and like I put that up there, and like one guy was like, "You talk too much. You need to shut the F up." And I was like, "That's not gonna happen. You can ask anybody that knows me."
Unfortunately, no. I've been trying for years.
I don't have that in me to stop talking. And then some people are like, "What? You don't know who Pepe the Frog is?" Yes, I know who Pepe the Frog is, but the Groypers use it as their like calling card or whatever. Their little.
You
mascot.
talking about Pepe the Frog on like the cartoons back in the day or whatever?
Let me see if I. Here, let me look it up real quick, and I'll show you what I'm talking about, because you probably didn't watch the episode that I was talking about it in.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, man. I'm a busy man.
Yeah. Excuses. Come on, internet, do your thing and search it up. Images. Let me go ahead and throw it over here to this second screen. Maybe if it loads. These guys. These frogs. They all have these other like profile pictures, and you know, like some of them are funny. I mean, like I said, I don't like really hate the people or have a problem with the people. A lot of them are like white identitarians, and like they really focus. They're not necessarily like white supremacists, but they like really focus heavy on like white people and all that stuff, and they believe certain genetic stuff. But hey, I like I say all the time, I don't think like people who have those like crazy ideas should be banned or anything. Like a lot of them, just like us, we're banned off of TikTok. We're on the verge of being banned from YouTube, but inevitable. Real quick, let me go back to the second screen, because I have some new memes, because people love the memes. And I'm going to put them on the website, coupleofhoosiers.com. You can go and get them and spread the word, because that's the biggest way that you can help the podcast. Just share the podcast. Tell people, hey, go listen to us.
Share the love, man. Share the love.
It's the only time you'll hear me saying any. Oh, it didn't work. Why?
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
Share it. Make Karl
Still
Marx
my
proud.
favorite.
Make Karl Marx proud and share the podcast with everybody. It's completely free. You don't have to pay me nothing. But here you go. Let's take a look at the new memes that are going to roll out. Couple of Hoosier podcasts chasing down the globalists and the rhinos. Tell them to watch out. We're coming. And that's like
I
an
don't want to
accurate.
be an orangutan.
Well, that's exactly what we are. We're a big goofy orangutan. I mean, that's a perfect depiction of us. Goofy
Maybe
orangutan.
you. I'm a gorilla. Dude.
Gorilla. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Me trying to ignore reality. A couple of Hoosiers podcasts shoving the truth in my face. Good one. Good one.
Poor Squidward.
Her. I bet he is thinking about other women. Him. I wonder what a couple of Hoosiers podcast is going to talk about next. It's the thought on everybody's mind. I mean, they want to know. We're a mystery. You never know what we're going to talk about. It can get crazy.
Sometimes.
No more bananas. This ape only wants a couple of Hoosiers podcast. Very true.
What was that they were dumping into that poor monkey's mouth?
It's a couple of Hoosiers podcast juice. No, but
Wow,
it was
we have a juice now?
we have a juice, dude. We're getting out there, man. Real quick for the people. This is going to be coming soon. You're going to be seeing
What flavors? What flavors do we have?
alpha flavors.
We got watermelon.
We're working on it right now. Watermelon kind of has like all the trademarks on it right now, so we're fighting that in the courts. We got our best lawyers on it. It's going to be a tough fight, but we will get watermelon. You can count on it.
Man, you gotta love them.
But soon you will be seeing everybody walking down the streets with this. Couple of Hoosiers podcast t-shirts. We even got it for babies. It's going to be great. Now they are not in production yet. I just threw those together because they look cool. I wanted to see how they...
Concept.
It's a work in progress. Maybe soon. At least for us, we'll have them.
Concept
That way.
art.
But you know what? Let's get into some videos because there's some funny stuff going on, and I like to start the episodes with like some funny videos. Break the ice and then get into the topics because what's going on in China right now? Horrible stuff. But the globalist,
Horrible, man, like talking about the next kind of Hitler kind of shit,
or the Antichrist. But check out this cool thing. I saw this video and I thought it was absolutely awesome. Like we're coming out with like all this like new innovative stuff, and this is actually something that I wouldn't mind getting. Cool little song with it.
Oh wow.
You can just latch it to your belt loop. I like the fact that it can work as a bottle opener. I always need one of those around. Ooh, and it comes in gold too. Ooh, and whatever that weird color is, monochrome. And if you get in a hairy, sticky situation, it could also double as it would like 10.
A ninja star.
Yeah, I was going to say that, a ninja star. Just throw it at them. But, the Hollywood people, like all this.
Retractable blades now.
But, like celebrities, like, always, like, say the craziest things. And I kind of like this guy. I think he's pretty funny, but he's been taking some takes, and like he's starting to become like one of those people.
I think up there, are you?
Do what?
You're not putting the one up there. I think you are you?
No, I don't think I am. I don't think you've seen this, but I actually do like this guy. He's more liberal because I mean, when you get into that atmosphere, I mean, you start becoming more liberal. But this guy had some stuff to say.
By the way, I don't like non-Jews referring to Jewish people as Jews. I do not like non-Jewish people referring to Jewish people as Jews. You say Jewish people, Jewish person. I find it condescending. The Jew, the Jews, Jewish. You can get the extra syllable out, okay? It don't take that much energy to say Jewish. Spit it out. We don't say the Caths. We say the Catholics.
Some of them
The
are
Irish
the Chad
Catholics.
Caths. We sometimes refer to some of them when they're pretty base as the Chad Caths. So you're, you're
he's
wrong.
got a point.
No.
He does have a point.
No.
The Jews, that is kind of condescending.
The Jews? The Jews? Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't see a problem with it. I mean,
well, I'm sure you don't because you're not Jewish, but that's like the same thing as calling.
well, I wouldn't care if people were like,
it's like a slander.
the whites, all the whites. I'd be like, okay,
But that's
you're
not
saying
slander,
words.
it's more of a
You're saying
color.
words. It's just like this whole like oversensitized like people, like we're focusing on like these words. It's like, doesn't matter. Are you really going to get all that upset?
Well, that's kind of like your Christianity. You know what I mean? If they call
I'm
you
used to
outside
it.
of whatever,
They can say what they want.
Christianity you are.
They've been talking about that for hundreds of years. I don't care.
No, I mean like how there's different denominations.
Right.
I'm not
Yeah,
talking
but I
about
mean, that
talking
can
down on it, but you would be somewhat offended if I don't know all the different denominations because I don't care to, but I know there's like Baptist and Methodist and shit like that. If you were a Baptist and they called you Methodist and you corrected them and they still called you a Baptist, you'd be kind of irritated with it. It's the same thing. It's their religion. It's not.
Yeah, probably for some people. I couldn't care as long as you don't call me.
As
long as you don't call me a weird little
like
Catholic.
Pull some guns out? Is it a reason to pull some guns out and go blow a bunch of people away? No, but is it a reason to voice your opinion? It's just like we're doing right now. Him voicing his opinion, I don't see anything wrong with that.
No, I don't see anything wrong with it. It's just like this new trend of like just being
we do
over.
focus too much on words.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
We do.
Like I mean
words are
like
just
people should be
words.
more respectful, but I mean, especially like here on the internet, I mean nobody's going to be respectful.
No, not at all.
But let's go ahead and watch this next video. Women are always trying to teach us so much, and this lady cop decided to give us a demonstration, and let's see how it works out.
3, 2, 1, go. Okay, fingers in. Okay, seatbelt comes off. There we go. Loop in. Okay, now with my other hand, I'm going to kick the seat back and I'm going to open the seat. I'm going to open the door, okay? 3, 2, 1. All the way down. I'm out and I can escape freely, okay?
Now let's see how it works in the real life.
Two fingers. Seat down.
Oh, that was wonderful. I could have stopped laughing when I first saw that. Yeah, because I mean, most like I get that would work if you actually had like an older style car that actually had the click. But I mean, even my car, I mean, it's not that new, but I mean, it still has the.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, my truck has that ability, but it's a truck, so but most cars.
Best way to get out of that situation, just pull your sidearm out and just pull.
Yeah, yeah. I would more pull it out with your left hand and shoot around your rib cage, but rather than trying to bend back, I'd grab it from here and shoot that way.
Yeah, I mean, I was just shut up.
You can't be goofy about it, Ricky.
Can't be goofy about it. You're absolutely right. That's how you'll shoot your eye out. That's how you shoot your eye out.
That's right. You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
They did you see that they made a second movie of that where he's like all grown up and has his own kids?
They've had a second movie of that.
No, I thought it was just released.
I mean, they may have made another movie about it. But
I
there
think
was a second one years ago.
yeah, I think they just came out with one where he's like he's all grown up. I was thinking like most like remakes and stuff like that, they're usually garbage and terrible, but it actually wasn't all that bad. I liked it.
I'll have to give it a run.
But yeah, so we're constantly having stuff thrown at us from everywhere, and we got to be up on our guards. And this is the perfect example how to keep your wits about you and keep your defensives up. Let's check it out. Boom! Ain't nothing getting past that cat. Nothing getting past that cat. And this is.
Can you imagine adding about 700 pounds to that and a tiger doing that, dude?
Dude, I wasn't gonna include the video, but I saw this. I think it was like somewhere over in Asia, I believe they have like these like zoos, whatever, where like the animals pretty much like roam freely, whatever, and you can like drive through, and you're not supposed to get out of your vehicle. All this video, this lady was, I don't know if they were trying to do like a Chinese fire drill or something, but she got out and was trying to get over to the driver's side and didn't get in there fast enough. And you just saw this, I don't know if it was a tiger or a bear or something, but something just jumped at her and like just pulled her back like some crazy horror movie. It was,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was disturbing. But this is a funny video. This is a good old classic. But I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. Let's check it out.
Direct hit. You want to throw bricks? Go ahead, throw another one. If you can't do any better than that kid, you're gonna lose. You got any more? Come on, Marv, get up. You don't have any more bricks. He's out of them. What? What?
Classic. I love that.
I love that movie.
Oh man. But you know, things are getting weird, and like they've been changing definitions on everything. And recently, the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, whatever you want to call them, they're woke, and I don't like them. But they changed the definition of racism. Like what would you say the definition of racism is, Charlie? How would you define it?
Well, it's hard to define racism, honestly, because if you really think about it, we're all the same race.
True. But I mean, we classify people as race, so like generally, like racism is usually viewing another race as like a inferior race or something like that. That's how.
In my opinion, I've always thought as race is like a species almost.
Right, but I mean, we have legal like classifications for like race and all that stuff.
Yeah, I know, and that's part of the freaking problem.
But yeah, the ADL went and made their own definition of racism. Let's check it out. So from the ADL, fighting hate for good. Racism, the marginalization and or oppression of people of color based on a socially constructed racial hierarchy that privileges white people.
Wow. That's the new definition of racism.
So only white people can be racist. Only white people can be racist. You gotta.
That's sad.
Yeah.
That like.
Yep. I mean that's like I'm. Like we were talking about the Groypers and how they're like white identitarians and all that stuff earlier, and like, while I don't agree with that, I do agree that there's like a lot of anti-white rhetoric that is being pushed in the media and like just all over the world in general, and like I don't like it. I mean, like you said, I don't even like the term race, because we all are the same. I mean, yeah, we're the human race. It's like them coming out like that's why I don't like the term like like blank Americans, like African Americans or Native Americans or Mexican Americans, like, because like anywhere else you go in the world, like they don't do that. It's just the French people, the Germans, the Russians. I mean, you don't have that. It's just here.
Now the division into other ethnicities, that's a whole nother ball game. But yeah, race, I wish we really could just, they tried to abolish the word race in D&D, which I think is absolutely stupid because that's the only time it actually is relevant.
Mm-hmm. Well,
you have elves and dwarves and halflings.
Mm-hmm.
You have different races. Now, when you talk about racism, that's what I more think about.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the picture that I get in my mind about racism is your, dwarves, like dwarfish people, like dwarfism, I think is the condition or whatever. That I could see being considered.
Excuse me, sir. They prefer to be referred to as little people
or vertically challenged.
I
No, but seriously though, that in my mind could be considered more racist than anything else.
Right.
Like,
but I mean, we like generally we don't classify them as like a different race or anything. Like
right,
it really just
human,
comes in.
Small.
Now the problem with like the ADL doing this is the ADL like has a lot of sway with labeling
white people,
like labeling people as like homegrown terrorists or something like that, like the Proud Boys or like the 3%ers or all that. Like they have them as like domestic terrorist groups and all that stuff, and it just gets wild. But yeah, like with the whole D&D thing, yeah, like Wizards of the Coast has like gone completely woke, trying to like pander to, because like a big thing that's been coming out with that is it's gone like kind of like mainstream, where like you have like all these streamers and all this stuff like doing like online.
It really has. I can think of 3 different ones right now that actually run online campaigns and shit.
But it's because these people are getting into it and like they're seeing all this stuff, and like with like the Drow and Dungeons and Dragons, like there's like the whole like slavery and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like they really don't like that, and like they're really trying to get pandered to, and like companies like this, like it kind of gets into like the ESG thing, like the environmental social governance thing, where like it's basically like a social credit score for these companies. But yeah, I saw that, and then I saw this video, and like well, honestly, it's funny how this video
like they're trying to replace. It feels like they're trying to replace all this other racism with like hatred towards white people now. And
oh, definitely.
I think we should stop replacing hate with hate and just be like, why can't we just be humans together? I know I say that a lot, but I just wish it could happen. There's so much hate in the world. Life is too short to go through it hating anybody for the color of their skin or what they believe in,
And I completely agree.
That's the reason to hate somebody.
But I mean, like the way that I look at it is, I think that like all humans are like vulnerable to like having hate in their heart, and I just don't think that we'll ever get to a point where like the whole world is.
We're a violent species for sure.
Violent, hateful.
We thrive to conquer.
The best thing that we can do is like what we're trying to do with this podcast is just try to like talk about stuff and like try to push some like positive culture. I mean, sure, we make fun of people, but I mean, what are you gonna do? But
when they give us ammunition, you know what I mean?
I mean, they make it too easy sometimes. They make it too easy. But yeah, I saw that the ADL did that, and then I saw this video. Now, it's funny the way that it was put together, because it's going to be like one side is this woman talking about how like horrible white people are and how racist they are, and then it's showing like a bunch of white people getting the crap kicked out of them, which I've seen so many videos of that. Like I honestly wanted to make a compilation of like all the stuff, because like they're saying like white supremacy is like the biggest threat to our democracy and all that stuff and all that.
All I gotta say is I don't bother nobody, but I wish a motherfucker would, dude. Like
mess around and find out.
Would. Fuck around and find out. That's my new catchphrase.
All right, but let's go ahead and watch this. Yeah, some of it's going to be a little disturbing, but it paints a picture.
Controversial opinion, but if you have a token white and you're hanging out with your friend group of color, you need to ask permission from everybody in the group to bring your white friend. Like, don't just bring them. Ask for explicit permission from everyone, because just because you're comfortable with them doesn't mean that everybody's comfortable with them. I might not be in the mood to deal with white shenanigans that day. That's all I'm saying. And another thing, it feeds into their ego. Like, don't let them think they're a good white person. Don't give them that card to use against other people. Please don't do that. Controversial opinion, but if you have a token white and you're hanging out with your friend group of color, you need to ask permission from every.
So, I mean, you get a good idea. It just goes through like so much of that, and I don't want to see it all. But I see these videos like all the time, like just white people like, and like I'm not trying to do it. Like I know pretty much everybody in there that was attacking the white people were black. I'm not trying to like point that out, but when it comes to like the way that the government has been like addressing like white supremacy and like saying that like the far right is like causing the most violence in our cities and stuff like that. It's just not true. I mean, there's so much evidence to point to the contrary, but yeah, that it's just crazy. It's just crazy.
And they're feeding it.
Yeah, and like the way that she was like saying like don't let them think that they're a good white person. Like this is because it's getting pushed in like our universities and all this stuff. Like they think of that, and then like it start like we've been seeing it start like trickling down into like the high schools and the middle schools and even elementaries. I've seen teachers trying to like push this type of rhetoric, and it's just horrible. It's just horrible. Let me see.
In school systems, I still believe that nothing political or sexual belongs in our school systems. That is simply to be educational purposes.
Mm-hmm. True.
You know, pushing beliefs or, you know, your agenda or anything else is just, in my opinion, a form of child abuse.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
You know?
No doubt.
They talk about all these kids that want to be girls and want to be boys and everything like that. No, that is something that is being pushed upon them because they probably have some kind of electronic device in their hand most of the day.
Mm-hmm.
This is shit that they see on TV. Now it becomes a trend, and everything is about a trend, and it doesn't just start at teens anymore, dude. That shit starts at like 7, 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, I've seen so many articles of people saying like their 3-year-old is like a transgender and all this stuff, and I'm like, how do they know? Like
they don't even have a sexual preference yet.
Yeah, it's
because the boy picked out some girly clothes. He don't fucking know no better yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? Let him wear it. That was the whole. I've done that. I let the boys wear some crazy shit to school one day. They got laughed at. They never did it again. They dressed appropriately. You know what I mean?
No doubt. No doubt. All right, let's watch one more video. This one I thought was pretty hilarious. We'll get into something funny before we start talking about China.
Beta.
China is asshole.
The big guy.
Ask again, I forgot the question. Sometimes poor kids are just as smart as white kids. That's a question a racist would ask.
What the fuck is this?
Sometimes poor voting for Trump and you ain't black. That's a question a racist would ask. I want to see you ain't black.
This was
I learned about kids.
This is
kids jumping on my lap.
Which one won't stop talking? I'm gonna buy all these.
You're voting for Trump, you ain't black.
Oh yeah.
That last lady kind of reminds me of my mom. I don't think she'd be buying them because she likes them. I think she'd be buying them for gag gifts.
Right, that's what I would do. I was like, I want to buy like 10 of those and just like randomly place them in people's houses.
Yeah.
Be like, what is this?
Wow.
Oh, but I thought that was funny. Yeah.
That is hilarious. That is so hilarious.
So hilarious. All right, let's talk about some globalists because we love those guys so much. First, I saw the absolutely perfect shirt, like probably second to our Couple of Hoosiers podcast shirt. I mean, which those would be rolling on the front lines any day now. Any day now. Once we get the funding. Trying to talk to the people. But check out this shirt. I saw this and I absolutely loved it. Say no to the Great Reset. Now you can find this shirt. Like there's a bunch of these great shirts here. Hold up. Let me grab the website real quick because this guy has like a lot of great shirt. Best. Yeah. Let me go ahead. Make sure it's big enough. That way people can see. And let's go over to the second screen. So the bestpoliticalshirts.com. Elon didn't Epstein himself. Porn is mind control. Beat Borp 2024. Make taxation theft again. This one, I like this one. If it'll load. Come on. The Grinch Who Stole Normal Life with Dr. Fauci as the Grinch. Just a bunch of wonderful shirts that this guy has. But you can find those at thebestpoliticalshirts.com. Epstein did it. Epstein.
Real shirts?
Yeah, these are real shirts. You can buy these.
Oh, I want to buy some.
Dude, so do I. Biden Fetterman 2024. It's a no-brainer. Lakeman Johnson. Yeah, there's just so much good stuff on here. Don't nuke me, bro. Give me that. Make 1984 fiction again, or make Orwell fiction again. Yes, please. Make him fiction. I'm tired of living in this Orwellian world. But yeah, I saw those, and I absolutely want to get this shirt because that's just wonderful. But let me think real quick. You know what? Real quick before we get into the globalist stuff, I want to touch on the Twitter situation real quick because Elon just released some Twitter files that oh no, I don't want to type that in there. Get that out of there. All right, so from shacknews.com, I believe. I don't know. I messed up the URL, but yeah, Matt Taibbi's Twitter files peels back the curtain on moderation bias as social media platform. Elon Musk Twitter is pulling back the moderation kimono tonight with the first set of Twitter files being posted at Matt Taibbi's by Matt Taibbi to the social media platform. And this is pretty much just the thread that he had put out. But a lot of it gets into like how the government has been working with like Twitter, like telling them, hey, censor this person, ban that person, label this story like the Hunter Biden laptop story as Russian disinformation. And like it even says, I believe down here, both parties had access to these tools. For instance, in 2020, requests from both the Trump White House and the Biden campaign were received and honored. However, this system isn't balanced. It was based on contacts because Twitter was and is overwhelmingly staffed by people of one political orientation. There were more channels, more ways to complain, open to the left, well, Democrats, than the right. And like you can see like their donation here, the Democrats were donating more to this than the Republicans, but the Republicans were using it, and like that's a big reason why a lot of things are the way they are, because both parties, like even Trump's administration was doing this stuff, and eventually it led to Trump actually being kicked off of Twitter and all that stuff, which was crazy in and of itself. But yeah, a lot of stuff are coming out about this. I'm trying to look more into it before like I actually like start saying like a whole bunch of stuff about it rar to you too, Burker, if that is what you are saying in the chat. But hi. Welcome. But yeah, I mean, like I was saying earlier, with us being banned from the good old TikTok and on the verge of being banned from YouTube, like this whole censorship stuff is just absolutely horrible. I don't like it. But right now, all we can do is like shed some light on the information. I'm hoping more things come out about this. I still, like I said, I still need to look more into it and see what is all going on. But it looks pretty damning. But I'm not confident that anything is actually going to come of this, because I mean there's been so much stuff that's like come out. Like, I mean, you got Hillary's emails that she deleted. I mean, nothing really ever happened with that. Hunter Biden's laptop has been out for like a couple of years and still nothing's happening with that. But I don't know. Hopefully something breaks through
Shit always
soon.
gets swept under the rug. That's why, you know, it can even be talked about for months in the media, and then it'll just as quick as it came about, fade away, and then you never hear about it again.
No doubt.
It's still going on.
And I mean, like I was saying, like even Trump's administration was using like these tools with social media and Twitter and all that stuff. And like I honestly think that who's ever doing it, is like, especially like, because I've talked a lot about the government being involved with like what's going on with like Facebook, Twitter. Like they're definitely like I was just talking about the Disinformation Governance Board with Nina Jankowicz, and not the last episode, but the episode before, and that's actually the episode that TikTok decided to ban me on, because I was talking about how the government was violating our First Amendment rights by, you know, going to social media and telling them what we can say and what we can't say. But I mean, either side, I don't care who it is. Like, I like Trump. I still like Trump. But I mean, if he's involved with this, like, people need to be held accountable. Like
Yep. And it's been a long time since anybody in any kind of office has been held accountable for anything they did.
Like it's all this like rules for thee, but not for me mentality that I'm just so
do as
over.
I say, not as I do.
Because like with like YouTube, like even Facebook, I don't like posting to Facebook anymore because I've been throttled so hard this entire year that like I like having it because like most of my family's on there, and that's mainly what I use it for. And then we also have the podcast channel group page on there, which people can go follow, and you guys can stay up to date with what's going on with us. But so like I don't post like a lot of like political stuff on there, just because like most of my stuff gets like put to the bottom of the list, and like people generally don't see my stuff anyway. So
right.
I post like hell on Twitter though, so follow me at @R_Wing Hoosier, and you can hear my loudmouth pop off on there. But yeah, let's start talking about globalists, because I wanted to get into this, because this is like a big thing about like the whole China situation, is like people like the World Economic Forum, like Klaus Schwab, Bill Gates, people like them are like trying to say like we need to model everything after China and all this stuff. Like let's just hear from Klaus Schwab himself. Let's take a look at him.
Generation like the young generation, like Prime Minister Trudeau, half of this cabinet are actually young nobodies of the world economy. We penetrate the cabinets.
The change is not just happening. The change can be shaped by us. We have to prepare for a more angry world. How to prepare? Take the necessary action to create a fairer world.
You will own nothing and be happy.
I see the need for a great reset.
So people assume we are just going back to the good old world which we had, and everything will be normal again. This is, let's say, fiction. It will not happen.
There is only one way this pandemic is going to go, it's going to get worse and worse and worse.
The next crisis is already waiting for us around the corner, and it is the climate crisis.
That darn climate change, it's coming. We're going to start being locked down because of climate. And like we've already been seeing that happen just this year, like over in like California. They were telling a lot of the people that were living there, like, hey, we're going through this big heat wave right now, and you cooling your house down like takes too much. It pulls too much power from the electrical grid. So like you can only have it at a certain degree, and you got to turn off your appliances and all this stuff. And like it gets even scarier when you start thinking about like these smart houses where like everything is like controlled by the internet and stuff like that, where like if you refuse it, they can just be like,
hey, we don't want you doing this. They can just turn your shit down or off themselves.
And I mean like they can do that without like the smart houses, but I just think that just like makes it easier, and like because it's I don't understand the people that are doing that, but I saw this picture and I absolutely love it. The little Shitler, Klaus Schwab, chairman and Führer of the World Economic Forum, the World Economic or the blah blah. I'm retarded. The WEF is probably already in your town. Know the signs. Look for the sustainable goals swastika. And like you can see that little, like if you ever see this little circle right here with all the colors on it, that's like the United Nations and like this like global effort, whatever symbol. Like I've seen a few politicians wearing it, and I'm just like, I don't like it. I don't like it. But let's hear what
that's funny.
The science, Mr. Dr. Anthony Fauci, Mr. Guy who doesn't like the Beagles, has to say about what's going on in China. Let's take a look at him.
This is too important not to do that.
Have you seen anything that Beijing has produced at all in terms of explanation or data?
Well, their explanation is an explanation that they will not allow us to look at the primary information. The WHO went in and saw some of the data, some of which was actually quite helpful. But you know what we need, Margaret? We need a transparency and a collaboration to open things up so that we could discuss it in a non-accusatory way. What happens is that if you look at the anti-China approach that clearly the Trump administration had right from the very beginning, and the accusatory nature, the Chinese are going to flinch back and say, no, I'm sorry, we're not going to talk to you about it, which is not correct.
But they're not talking to the Biden administration about it either.
Exactly. I think that horse is out of the barn, and they're very suspicious of anybody trying to accuse them.
One of the other things that's interesting to us when we watch how the world deals.
Well, probably should have edited that video but a little bit better. But yeah, he.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh. Now this here real quick, let's go ahead and look at this picture because I think it's completely accurate for the people who think that like the government could come in and fix everything. Like the government is your friend and like we need more of it. They should have more power and be in charge of more things. Yeah. Believes government will fix the problem. Problem gets worse. More government will fix this. There is a huge problem. And it just keeps on cycling. That's pretty accurate. Because as we can see through history, like anything that the government gets their hands on turns to crap. Like look at who was it? FDR. I think he was the one that had the model cities program that like started bringing out all the projects and all that stuff, and like all these government like paid homes for people and apartments for people, and like you look at like they're not being maintained, all that stuff, and like people like constantly want like the government to get like more more involved with like healthcare and like there should be like this government paid healthcare and all that stuff. And like it's just like it. Like I don't think that there should be absolutely no government. Like I used to think that. But I honestly believe that like that's like an unrealistic goal. Like total anarchy, no government, and all that stuff. But I don't know. Like it's just weird.
We live in a society these days where everybody. What is the term that I used? I can't remember the term that I used, but basically they feel that they deserve all.
They're
just to be handed shit.
Damn it, my mind just went blank.
I know.
I know what you're talking about.
Brain fart.
Gosh, my brain just literally pooped.
Self-entitlement. Yes.
We are full in this nation of self-entitled people that think just as much as the next person. They deserve this. They deserve that. Why do I have to work? You know, blah, 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 blah. I shouldn't have to do this. They shouldn't have to do that. I shouldn't have to be responsible.
That's really what it gets down to. Like everything, like, I mean, I see it on the right, but it's like, that's like the slogan, like for the left and like the Democrats, like every single policy that they're trying to push out just like alleviates all personal self-responsibility, like everything they want you taken care of. And like I do think that there should be like some like government assistance like for like the elderly or like the handicapped or like people like who literally can't go out and provide for themselves. Like there should be like some sort of like safety net for them. But the way that like the left and like more like the Marxists and the socialists, where like they want this like communist state where like the state runs everything, and
right.
I don't like it. We're gonna have to long ago when I first started this, I did a episode where I went into like some of the views of like the mainstream Marxists and all that stuff. Like, cause like I was once trying to find like a podcast or like just something to listen to about like historical Marxism and all that stuff, like to understand it better. And I found this podcast called The Entry Level Left, and like I started listening to these guys, and they're self-proclaimed Marxist, and they were speaking about all their opinions and stuff, and I was just like, you guys are wild. They had said something about like they were criticizing a city for being clean. It's something I don't know.
Wow.
I'll have to show it to you sometime. But I was just like, because like they were like linking like clean, safe cities to like white supremacy and all this stuff, and I was just like,
we might have to do
What?
China another episode, man.
What?
We're running low on time all of a sudden. I just realized what time it was.
Yeah,
like they call it independence anymore, you know, and there's really no such thing as independence anymore, man. Like most of these kids are growing up with the knowledge of soaking off the system.
It's really hard to be independent in this world these days, because like
I can't believe that video games are a national sport now, like a world sport.
Yeah, you can make a job of it.
You know what I mean? And that's just crazy. You lazy. Never mind.
All right,
like,
but
I like playing video games too, man. But
this falls into those because those same people like to wear this shirt and this
oh god.
It's nothing horrible, but they like I've seen people like with like stickers of this guy and like wearing his face on their shirts, and most people wearing the Che Guevara shirt would have been killed by Che Guevara.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true. I don't get the people that like think that like he's a great guy, and like you look into like it like the history of him, and he's just I just had to share that.
It's the whole trending thing again. They don't know anything about what they're wearing. They just see other people wearing it and they think it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, he's like the image of like
he's
like the image of like the resistance. Like we're resisting by wearing this mass murderer and complete racist. That guy was like insanely racist, and oh my gosh. But let's look into what Trost Trudeau has to say about the Chinese protesters, because we're about to get into that.
Everything we discuss is a leak to the paper. That's not the process. And that's not how the way the conversation was conducted. If there is
Obviously, it's really important that citizens be able to make themselves heard, that they're protesting, yes, on a specific issue that touches on so many others, government control of authoritarian states. We, of course, stand with those protesters. We know how important it is for people to express themselves, for journalists to be able to do their job.
Yeah, I just think it's. I had to throw in the honking because if people don't know about Justin Trudeau, they had the trucker protests that were going on up there, and it's really hilarious to me that he's coming out and saying, well, like the China people need to have the right to protest, when he like shut down all these trucker protests because they were protesting the vaccine mandates for crossing the border into the U.S. and Canada. They were protesting about that, and like the honking was a big thing for them. They like went to the capital city and they all parked there and they were just honking all day, and people were complaining about it. And I'm just like, I mean, these, like I can imagine like the honking would have been annoying, but I mean, they were doing a good thing, and like they completely got shut down by Trudeau, and like had their bank accounts frozen, their PayPal's frozen, like all this stuff. And
oh my goodness,
yeah, people went to jail for protesting. Like the guy is a hypocritical piece of garbage, and I don't like him.
Wow.
We'll skip that because we are getting a little long on time. I do want to talk about this article real quick. I got a few key points.
The repression?
The China's repression of the Uyghurs and wrong button. So from the Council on Foreign Relations.org, China's repression of Uyghurs in Xinjiang, I don't know. More than 1 million Muslims have been arbitrarily detained in China's Xinjiang region. If I'm mispronouncing that, it's this is the only explanation for it.
I'm kind of retarded.
I can barely speak English. You can't expect me to speak Chinese as well. The re-education camps. Ping ping ding dong. The re-education camps are just one part of the government's crackdown on Uyghurs. This has been going on. So the Chinese government has reportedly arbitrarily detained more than 1 million Muslims in re-education camps since 2017. Most of the people who have been detained are Uyghur,
6 years.
Yeah, predominantly Turkic-speaking ethnic group, primarily in China's northwestern region of Xinjiang. Beyond the detentions, Uyghurs in the region have been subjected to intense surveillance, forced labor, and involuntary sterilizations, among other rights abuse. Now, like I said, this has been going on for about 6 years, and like I've seen a lot of stuff about this more before like I started doing this podcast. But like there's like a lot of horrible things that are going on with these people, and this is happening in China. And I don't have the video, but there was a video of President Poopy Pants saying, well, it's just a different culture over there. Like, we can't judge it. It's a different culture. And like it's absolutely crazy what's been going on.
Vocational education and training centers. That's what they call them.
Yeah. Okay, so an estimated 800,000 to 2 million Uyghurs and other Muslims, including ethnic Kazakhs and Uzbeks, have been detained since 2017, according to international researchers and U.S. government officials. The Chinese government calls these facilities vocational education and training centers. The most common term used by the international media organizations and researchers are re-education camps, internment camps, and detention camps. Some activists describe them as concentration camps. And you know, they're not far off of that.
They're not.
Like,
the only thing they're missing is a gas chamber. You know?
True that. And
I hate to say that, but it's damn close.
And what's really scary about that is I remember after the January 6th event that happened in 2021, there was a lot of people on the left like going to Twitter and like social media and saying like, we need re-education camps for these Trump supporters, like these white supremacists and all this stuff. And I was like, y'all better back up.
You try and put me in a camp, I'll be dead.
True that. True that. All right. Okay. This looks weird. Okay, so let's get into some China videos because, like, I got quite a few of them. I'm gonna kind of run through some of these. So here's a picture real quick. You'll see a lot of these guys in some of these videos. These have kind of been like China's like guys that they're sending on the ground to like test people and like make sure people are doing what they're supposed to do. But what started these protests, we're gonna play this video right here. But what started this protest was a fire that had happened in an apartment building where 40 people were killed from it. And this video is gonna explain why they died and why they're protesting.
It's so horrible too.
Okay, so that video didn't do it, but this video right here. So these doors were welded shut. Like there's tons of videos of those guys in those white suits going up to like doors and stuff like that and welding them shut, because if you were sick with COVID, or you were around somebody who had COVID, or if you even went into like an area that like they deemed as like like a hot spot or whatever for COVID, like a lot of cases were coming out of there. Like they would literally come to your house and like weld your door shut so you could not leave. And that is how this fire happened.
That's so horrible.
But yeah, I mean, it's just absolutely terrible. But I mean, what's really crazy about this is that like I was saying earlier, people like Klaus Schwab and like Bill Gates and like they say that they love the way that China does things, and like we need to like incorporate that everywhere else. And I'm like, somebody tries to come and weld my door shut, you're gonna get 2 in the chest.
You ain't taking me no camp either.
Not at all. But I got a few videos of some of the protests that have been going on. And like all these protests spurred off of that apartment building fire. Like that was the catalyst for this.
I mean, people are pissed, dude.
Mm-hmm. Rightfully so. Because I mean, honestly, I was seeing videos come out from China near the end of 2020 of them welding doors shut. Like I remember that, and like so this has been happening for a while there. Like, and what's really wild is that like through like the COVID time and all that stuff, like China was reporting that like they had barely any cases, like they were doing good over there, and like like a lot of people in our government were like, see, look at the way China's handling things, and like we were shut down for a while.
Look how China's handling things now.
Yeah, and like I'm honest, I'm very, very surprised that like a lot of these videos got out, because we talk about them censoring us over here online, but they are like, you gonna get disappeared. You gonna get disappeared.
They don't like shit getting out about their country.
And I mean, honestly, I'm like really against like rioting and all that stuff, like, because we've seen it happen like here in the States, and like, but like you can look through like the history of China and like what their government is doing to them, and like it pales in like what's happening here in America pales in comparison.
Being oppressed for so fucking long,
and like
it down and pushed down, and then you just finally have enough. You know?
Definitely,
it's like Twisted Sister. We're not gonna take.
Yeah, like I mean, they've even got it. Like I'm sure like a lot of people know about like their one baby policy and all this stuff. Like, which is like there's documentaries like where like they say like once you reach the age of 30, if you haven't found a life partner, someone a spouse or whatever, like you're never gonna find one. Like it's really crazy over there, because specifically of the one baby policy. And like when you get deeper into like what they were doing, if you had more than one child,
they were killing babies.
Yeah, it was like that. I don't want that coming over here.
I don't have proof or nothing like that, obviously, but I heard through rumor that they were dropping them off.
Did they? Yeah, I believe I did hear that they ended their one baby policy. Somebody just commented. Burr Kerr, thanks for commenting. Yeah, they did end their one baby policy, but I mean that's just like an example of like how extreme like the Chinese communist government over there has been, to where they've literally like said like you can only have one child, and like a lot of like Bill Gates, like people like him, like they look at like population control, and it's just scary stuff.
It's really scary that we're always kept in the dark about everything. You know what I mean?
And like I said, like I'm
it's
really
cloak and dagger anymore.
I'm really surprised that a lot of these videos are coming out. Here, let's take a look at this video. That's a good example of once you start working in sync with each other and working together, you can accomplish stuff. Work together, and you can accomplish your dreams. Ooh, that guy went with the gate. Okay, guys, on to the next one. Ching Chang Chong. And then there's this. These white suits.
What are they dragging? Is that somebody kicking and screaming, or is that somebody like?
Yeah, because if you tested positive, like, we'll get into it, but you got sent to these places. Burker just commented, that building fire reminds me of how China leaves their miners in the ground to die when the shaft collapse. Yeah, they human rights don't mean anything over there.
No.
Like I've seen some wild videos that like I won't share on here, but like I like, because there's a lot of Chinese people that like get onto like Twitter and stuff like that, and they get these videos out. But like I seen like it's like so crazy over there. Like I've seen videos of like children like in the middle of the street getting run over by a truck, and then like people just walk over the body and stuff over there, like wild stuff. Like the culture over there is just crazy. I don't know if you want to define that as culture, but I don't know. It's just why I could not believe, because there's no way I could even imagine like a large majority of people here in America or most other places seeing like a child just ran over and like just walking over the body, or just like not like being like, oh my gosh, like that absolutely blowed my mind when I seen that. So yeah, people being dragged away.
你们最好别打，我给你录像了，我看让你打，让你打吧。
You see down to the bottom corner, this is Chinese
打人没有
TikTok.
打的不停了，一会打一回，一会打一回，不行了。往前坐。你说话啊！你管讲了？
哎，你干啥呢？我搁这拍着了，我跟你说，我拍着了。
I'm not sure what that last part was about, but. And just recently, they started moving in tanks to quell the protest. Which reminds me of this. Tiananmen Square. I can't remember what year that happened, but it's a very profound picture. And I know I've looked into like the stories of that. The guy that stood in front of those tanks was dragged away, and I don't think he was ever seen again. But I mean, like this isn't like China just has a long history of doing this type of stuff. And then apparently like somebody put up like some balloons of what was going on in that, and yeah, they didn't take too kindly to that. They don't like being reminded of stuff over there. But yeah.
Sounds like something I'd do.
Now let's look into like why like a lot of things over there happens, and like they can like find these people who are like testing positive for COVID and all that stuff. Because they have these vaccine passports. I was just talking about a couple episodes ago how like the G20 summit, they were talking about like global vaccine passports and all that stuff, and it's exactly like that. Let's go ahead and shoot over to this article over here. I believe it's no, not that one. Is it The Guardian? No, not that. How to travel. Let's look at this. You want to go ahead and go with this one?
Hold on, let me get to it.
Yeah, this is like something like the World Economic Forum and people like them have been talking about for a while now, is like a digital identity and all that stuff, and just bringing stuff like these vaccine passports. It's been a big topic for them for a while, and
I don't think I have that one up. China is traveling with digital vaccine passports, right?
How to travel domestically in China, green codes and health kits in China COVID-19 response.
Yeah, I didn't get that one.
No. I'll just go ahead and read this. But from wildchina.com. How to travel domestically in China, green codes and health kits in China, COVID-19 response. At the time of writing, June 2021, China's borders were still closed to most international travelers. We've updated this article for those already in China, and if you'd like to be notified when we know more about the borders reopening, please sign up for our newsletter. We'll make sure you're the first to hear when anything changes. So, first thing, make sure you've got the English version of the Health Code app so you can download these apps onto your phone. This app was designed specifically for foreigners living in China and international visitors, although some of you may be able to use the previously released WeChat and Alipay apps. Other foreigners could not, potentially because their English names were too long. The updated system is purpose-built to recognize foreign names and passport information. So, what is this? In 2020 and now 2021, it's all about that green health code. The built-in mini programs are all about tracking where you have been. Upon registering, you will be asked a series of questions, including your whereabouts for the last 14 days and if you've had COVID-19 symptoms. Alternatively, if you use the WeChat Health Kit mini program, you just need to enter your name and passport number, then upload a picture of your ID, all in English. Based on your answers and whether you have been in a high-risk area or in close contact with a confirmed COVID-19 case, you will be given a colored QR code, red, green, or yellow. You're looking for that magic green code that says you're okay to travel. If you have been inoculated by a Chinese COVID vaccine, the app will display details of your latest vaccination status, including the name of the vaccine and the dates of your immunization. Yes, because it definitely makes you immune to COVID. Nice try, guys. But yeah, so even though the green code is an officially sanctioned okay to travel, different cities and provinces have issued their own codes. So before you travel anywhere outside your region, you need to apply for a green code at your intended destination. Sometimes this is as easy as clicking a few screens. Other times it could take up to 48 hours to be approved. Plan ahead. Additionally, some provinces and cities are requiring travelers to undergo a COVID-19 test before traveling. Now, I mean, this isn't like it gets into like this whole digital passport and all that stuff. But I mean, we've even had stuff like that here, where like in New York, like you had to prove that you were vaccinated to go into like some stores and stuff like that. And there were like music venues and stuff like that. Like I heard like people had to like prove that they were like they had the COVID test and like they tested negative for COVID and all this stuff. Like it's so like this stuff is not out of the realm of possibilities of being somewhere around here. And like if you like listen to like a lot of the way that the World Economic Forum talks about, they want to create like this internet of bodies and stuff like that, and put chips in us that'll just tell them what they need to know.
Nope.
Without us doing anything. But yeah, like they have like these checkpoints and stuff like that all through China, and like they even have it at some places where like you can get locked out of your house. And let's go ahead and look at this video over
locked
here.
Out of your house.
Yeah, there's a lot of people becoming homeless over there because they can't go to work, or they can't go live in their houses, so they're forced to live on the streets.
Wow.
Yep. And let's take a look at their wonderful camps for COVID, because they love their camps over there. They love their camps over there, as we saw earlier with the Uyghurs. But let's take a look at this. Yeah. So all these are like you saw the people being dragged away. Like a lot of people will just like willingly go to these places if they test positive for COVID. Some people have to be forcibly taken there, but they're putting like one of these COVID camps in every single city over there. They've been building tons of them. But Yeah, you get sent there and you get locked in this room. Australia had something similar to this, but yeah, China's like going like full force on this, and they're putting them in every city, and yeah, it's
what makes them different than concentration camps?
That's a good question. Let's look up the definition of a concentration camp. Concentration. Nazi concentration camps. Just definition. I just want a definition, but
a place where large numbers of people, especially political prisoners or members of persecuted minorities, are deliberately imprisoned in a relatively small area with inadequate facilities, sometimes to provide forced labor or to wait mass execution. The term is most strongly associated with the several hundred camps established by the Nazis in Germany and occupied Europe in 1933 to 45, among the most infamous being Dachau, Belsen, and Auschwitz.
Yeah, that's a big one that I know. But so yeah, like the only thing that makes a difference is like these people are being sent there because of COVID and not necessarily like because of their political affiliations or anything like that. So I mean, I guess you could say that maybe, but the Uyghur camps can definitely fall into that category as a concentration camp. I believe so.
Yeah.
But I mean, since they're having like all these camps like in every city, I mean, it opens up the door. I mean, since we see with like the Uyghurs, like they're not, it's not out of the realm of possibility for them to want to do that. So, I got a couple more videos that we're gonna check out. So here is somebody being tested at one of these COVID camps.
Let's go.
See how far that thing went in? Oh my gosh. And like those aren't the worst. Those aren't the worst. Yeah. Those aren't the worst that I've seen. This one absolutely drives me crazy. Like people have tried to say like the anal swabs for COVID aren't happening over in China. Let's watch this video. Like absolutely horrible.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, like I don't even know how they can like justify doing anal swabs for an upper respiratory illness. Doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. But I mean, like all this stuff is happening over there, and I am glad to see that people are finally standing up, because I mean, you can only get away with that crap for so long. But I don't know. I mean, there's also
6
a lot.
years though, almost 6 years though. You know.
Well, that's just for the Uyghurs. All this stuff that
they've been taking these people and putting them in camps and shit like that for 6 years.
No. That's just the Uyghur Muslims. Everything that like all these videos that we've been watching is just from the past 2 years with COVID.
No, I'm just talking about how can they get away with any of that? For the past 6 years, they've been imprisoning people, and now they're starting to, do all just like that one article said, just going against complete human rights, just completely. It's like they have no rights over there.
Well, a lot of it has to do with like China's been like they've been pushing for China to become the new superpower of the world. Like right now, America is, and there's been this real big push for that, and like it gets like to like the conspiratorial side where like you're wondering if like they're trying to sabotage America, like we're doing so horrible and like our dollar is meaningless and we see like China like moving up in the ranks and all that stuff. And honestly, when you look into it, they've like there's been like a lot of spies that have been sent over here, and they've gotten a lot of our information to advance them over there.
They've had spies over here for years, dude.
Like you can look
Russia
at like I think he's a representative over in California, but his name is Eric Swalwell. He was actually caught fornicating with a Chinese spy and not held accountable. And he's like on like a bunch of different like intelligent boards and all that stuff, like where he knows like a lot of information, and he's still holding office. Mr. Eric Swalwell and Miss Fang Fang.
You know, that used to be a thing, though. Like, if you got caught for anything, whether it was your fault or not, you know, that's a leak of information. It's what do you call it? A security threat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and generally they would lose their job.
Period. Oh yeah,
I don't understand why that.
He's like, honestly, at the very most, you could say that he's compromised, and like, I mean, you can't trust him. Like whether or not he shared information or not, I mean, that absolutely blows my mind though. Like, because it's like all these politicians, like they're not held accountable for anything that they do. There's like a completely different set of laws for them and rules for these, but not for me, and all that bull crap. And I'm
do as I say, not as I do.
Mm-hmm. And like I see a big push from like these global elites that want to push us in this direction where all this stuff is possible to come over here, and I'm like, absolutely not.
Worrisome, very worrisome, man.
But all right, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I want to. Let's go ahead and run this ad real quick, and I think this is the right hotkey. I know I set it up for something, and I can't remember. Let's hopefully it's this. It was not that. Whatever. I'll just click it. I was trying to make it easier for me, but apparently I'm kind of retarded. But here's the ad. Couple of Hoosiers podcasts. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, CastBox, pretty much anywhere that you get your podcasts. You can find us. We live stream Thursdays and Saturdays, sometimes on Odysee. We upload to YouTube and Rumble. No more TikTok. We got banned. Coupleofhoosiers.com. You can find everything there. I got memes on there. I got blogs on there for the episodes. Go check them out. Then you got R&M Kurtz Woodworks, me and my wife's little woodworking company on Facebook. You can find us on there, and there's some of the products that we have made. The stuff's pretty cool. Check it out and get a hold of us, and we'll see what we can do for you. Yeah, I'm going to have to update that ad to take the old TikTok off, since, you know.
Or you can leave it on there and put that guy pissing on it.
We got banned. Yeah, let me where? Not that one. This one. But piss off YouTube as well. Because, you know, and like I like with those clips that I was putting on, I'll show this. I was even putting like this stuff on there. Sorry, but this part is too spicy for the tech overlords. So go check out the whole video on Odysee or Rumble. And then I also had the same thing for YouTube, but you know, it's not enough for them. It's not enough. I'm really worried about putting anything on YouTube. Like, I don't think I put anything from any of the episodes for like the past 10 episodes onto YouTube, because we've either been banned or we've been talking about stuff that I know can't go on YouTube. But I don't know. I'm just going to have to probably read through the terms of service with a fine-tooth comb and see what all their stuff is. Because, I mean, pretty much like the only reason why we've been banned from YouTube is they've given more explanation than TikTok. TikTok just says that everything that we say is violent extremism or hateful behavior. So even when we're just talking about politicians spending money, but I don't know. To hell with TikTok. I don't care. We weren't getting any traffic from there, but What are you gonna do?
Say forget TikTok.
Pretty much. I was thinking for like half a second about making a new account and starting over again, but I'm not gonna take the time. I'm not gonna go through it again. We got here. Let me go ahead and show this real quick for the people before we close this out. If my internet will load, get that off the screen. But this over here, if you go over to a couple of Hoosiers podcasts on Odysee and go over to channels, you can find COH podcast clips, or you can just go up to this wonderful search bar right there, and you can look up COH podcast clips. But this is where I will be putting all the clips. You can find them there. What? Okay, everything's just changing around. But go ahead and give that page a follow. Check out some of the clips. A big reason why I want to do the clips is I feel like it's more digestible for people, like because sometimes we have like episodes that go for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I've even done like a couple 3-hour ones, and like not everybody wants to sit there and watch it, so I take little segments from the show and I just put it out there, and you guys can share them, and it's easier for people to see like a couple minutes to like 20 minutes of a clip and get a little taste of a couple of Hoosiers podcasts in their mouth. What? Weird. Sometimes I'm weird. But all right, you guys take it easy. We're going to go ahead and sign off, and we're going to enjoy a new fun week of working. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Have a good work week, guys.
Take it easy. Bye. Where's my button? Damn it, where's my button? There it is.